The day the stars spoke back was not what humanity expected. It was a Tuesday, unremarkable save for the alien spaceship that materialized over New York City. Dr. Sarah Chen, lead scientist at SETI, stared at her computer screen in disbelief. After years of scanning the cosmos for signs of life, the confirmation of extraterrestrial intelligence came not through radio waves, but in the form of a sleek, silver craft hovering above the Manhattan skyline. "This can't be happening," she muttered, adjusting her glasses. But it was. News channels exploded with live footage of the alien vessel. Social media platforms crashed under the weight of 1 billion simultaneous posts. Governments scrambled to respond, their carefully crafted first contact protocols rendered useless in the face of such a direct approach. As panic gripped the globe, a message broadcast on all frequencies. "People of Earth, we come in peace. We are the Galactic Council. We wish to speak with your leaders." What followed was a whirlwind of activity. World leaders convened in an emergency UN session. Military forces worldwide were placed on high alert. And Dr. Chen found herself whisked away to a secret facility, tasked with analyzing every scrap of data from the alien ship. 3 days later, in a heavily guarded conference room, humanity's representatives sat across from the alien envoy. The being before them was tall and slender, with iridescent skin and eyes that seemed to hold the depths of space within them. "We are the Zarquin," the alien spoke, its words translated through an advanced device. "We represent the Galactic Council, a federation of spacefaring civilizations. We have come to discuss your situation." The room fell silent. The U.S. president leaned forward. "Our situation." The Zarquin's eyes flickered, a movement that might have been a blink. "Your rapid technological advancement has not gone unnoticed. It is concerning." Dr. Chen, present as a scientific advisor, felt a chill run down her spine. This was not the friendly welcome humanity had hoped for. The alien continued, "In the last century, you've progressed from primitive flight to rudimentary space exploration. Your computational capabilities grow exponentially. We've detected experiments in AI, quantum computing, and even early attempts at faster-than-light communication." The Chinese premier spoke up. "Are these achievements not to be celebrated?" "Under normal circumstances, yes," the Zarquin replied. "But your species, you are young, volatile. Your history is marred by conflict. And now you stand on the brink of becoming a true spacefaring civilization." The room tensed. The implications were clear. "We are here," the alien said, "because your presence in the galactic community could be disruptive." Dr. Chen couldn't contain herself. "You mean we're a threat?" All eyes turned to her. The Zarquin studied her for a long moment before responding. "Threat is a strong word, Dr. Chen, but not inaccurate. Your potential, unchecked, could destabilize carefully maintained balances. Wars have been fought over less." The UN Secretary General, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation, asked, "What exactly are you proposing?" The Zarquin's next words sent a collective shudder through the room. "The Galactic Council has decided. For the greater good, humanity must be contained. You will cease all advanced technological research. Your space programs will be dismantled. You will return to a pre-industrial state under our supervision." Outrage erupted. Shouts of protest filled the air. Dr. Chen sat in stunned silence, her mind racing. Everything humanity had worked for, all their dreams of the stars, were being crushed in an instant. As the chaos unfolded, a thought nagged at the back of her mind. There was something else out there, wasn't there? An old project, hidden away in the depths of government archives. Something about a strange signal, an ancient artifact. In that moment, Dr. Chen realized humanity's future might depend on uncovering secrets buried in its past. The stars had spoken, but perhaps the Earth itself held the key to humanity's survival. The meeting adjourned in disarray, leaving Earth's leaders to grapple with an impossible choice: submission or defiance. Either way, the world as they knew it would never be the same. As Dr. Chen left the room, her determination solidified. She would find that artifact. She would uncover its secrets. And maybe, just maybe, she would find a way to save humanity from the fate the Galactic Council had decreed. The game was on, and the stakes were nothing less than the future of the human race. Dr. Sarah Chen's fingers flew across her keyboard, her eyes darting between multiple screens. It had been a week since the Galactic Council's ultimatum, and the world was in chaos. Governments argued, people panicked, and the alien ship loomed over New York, a constant reminder of humanity's precarious position. But Sarah wasn't focused on the pandemonium. She was chasing ghosts. Digital whispers of a project so secret, most thought it was just a rumor. Project Lazarus, she muttered, scrolling through encrypted files. Where are you? A knock on her office door made her jump. Dr. James Rodriguez, her colleague and friend, entered with 2 cups of coffee. Any luck? He asked, setting a cup beside her. Sarah sighed, rubbing her tired eyes. Nothing concrete. But I know it's real, James. The artifact exists. James leaned against her desk, his expression worried. Even if it does, how will it help us against an entire galactic civilization? I don't know, Sarah admitted, but it's our only hope. Suddenly, her computer beeped. A new message appeared. Find ye sleeping giant. 40.7128 degrees in, 74.0060 degrees dou. Sarah's heart raced. James, look. These are coordinates for New York City. James frowned. Right under the alien ship. It can't be a coincidence. They shared a look of understanding. This was it. Their chance to change humanity's fate. Hours later, Sarah and James found themselves in a forgotten subway tunnel beneath Manhattan. Their flashlights illuminated damp walls and rusted tracks. This is crazy, James whispered. How could something be hidden here for so long? Sarah checked her device. We're close, just a little further. They rounded a corner and stopped short. Before them stood a massive metal door, its surface covered in strange symbols. Impossible, James breathed. This isn't human technology. Sarah approached the door, her hand trembling as she reached out to touch it. The moment her fingers made contact, the symbols lit up with a soft blue glow. A deep rumble shook the tunnel. Slowly, impossibly, the ancient door began to open. Sarah, maybe we should wait for backup, James said nervously. But Sarah was already stepping through the doorway. There's no time, James. The future of humanity is at stake. Inside, they found a vast chamber filled with technology beyond their wildest dreams. Sleek consoles lined the walls, and in the center stood a pillar of light containing what looked like a suspended animation pod. Sarah approached the central console. As she did, holographic displays sprang to life around her. This is incredible, she gasped. James, look at this. It's some kind of historical record. The holograms showed images of a mighty civilization spreading across the stars. But then came scenes of a terrible war, devastation on a galactic scale. They were running from something, James realized. Something even they couldn't beat. Sarah nodded, her mind racing. So they came here, hid themselves away, and waited. A new hologram appeared. A message left by the ancient aliens. To those who wake us, if you read this, you have proven yourselves worthy. We are the ancients, once rulers of the galaxy. We slumber until the day we are needed again. Use our legacy wisely, for great power brings great responsibility. Sarah and James exchanged looks of awe and terror. They had found humanity's salvation, but at what cost? We should tell someone about this, James said. The government, the UN. Sarah shook her head. No, the Galactic Council would find out. We need to wake them ourselves. Are you insane? James exclaimed. We don't know what they're capable of. We don't have a choice, Sarah replied firmly. It's this or watch humanity be reduced to the Stone Age. Her hand hovered over what seemed to be an activation switch. James held his breath. In that moment, the fate of humanity hung in the balance. With a silent prayer, Sarah made her choice. She pressed the button. The chamber hummed to life. The pillar of light pulsed, and the pod within began to open. Humanity had kept the ancients' secret for millennia. Now, it was time for the sleepers to awaken. And the galaxy would never be the same again. The world held its breath as the Galactic Council's massive ship hovered over the United Nations headquarters in New York. It had been a month since their arrival, and today was the deadline for humanity's answer to their ultimatum. Inside the General Assembly Hall, tension crackled like electricity. World leaders sat in uneasy silence, their faces grim. At the podium stood the UN Secretary-General, his voice steadied despite the weight of the moment. "We have deliberated long and hard," he began, addressing not just those present, but the billions watching worldwide. "We have weighed the consequences of our choices, and we have reached a decision." In the audience, Dr. Sarah Chen held her breath. She and James had kept their discovery a secret, knowing the risk was too great to reveal it yet. But their finger hovered over the proverbial button, ready to wake the ancients if needed. The Secretary-General continued, "To the Galactic Council, we say this. Humanity respectfully declined your offer of containment." A collective gasp echoed through the hall. On screens worldwide, people watched in shock and fear. "We cannot and will not abandon the progress we have made," the Secretary-General declared. "We will not give up our dreams of the stars. We choose to face the future, whatever it may bring, as free and sovereign beings." The moment the words left his mouth, the alien ship above began to pulse with energy. Screens throughout the assembly hall flickered to life, revealing the Zarquin envoy. "This is most disappointing," the alien said, its voice eerily calm. "We had hoped you would see reason. Now we must take more drastic measures." Suddenly, reports began flooding in from around the globe. Satellite communications were going dark. Power grids flickered and failed. In orbit, humanity's fledgling space stations went silent. "This is but a taste of what we can do," the Zarquin warned. "Surrender now, or we will be forced to take more permanent action." Panic erupted in the assembly hall. Leaders shouted for explanations, for solutions, for miracles. In the chaos, Sarah's phone buzzed. A message from James. "It's time." With shaking hands, Sarah pulled out a small device, a remote link to the ancient chamber they had discovered. She took a deep breath and pressed the activation sequence. Miles below the city in the hidden chamber, the ancient stasis pod hissed open. A figure, tall and otherworldly, stepped out, its eyes glowing with knowledge and power spanning eons. Back in the UN, the Zarquin's image flickered. It tilted its head, as if listening to something no one else could hear. "What is this?" the alien demanded, genuine fear creeping into its voice for the first time. Before anyone could respond, every screen in the hall changed. The face that appeared was unlike any human or known alien. It radiated an aura of ancient wisdom and terrible power. "People of Earth," the being spoke, its voice resonating not just through speakers, but seemingly in everyone's minds. "We are the predecessors. We have slumbered, waiting for those worthy to awaken us. That time has come." The Zarquin envoy sputtered, "Impossible. You're just a legend." "We are very real," the predecessor replied. "And we do not take kindly to threats against our chosen successors." Around the world, the lights came back on. Satellites reconnected. And in orbit, massive ships, far larger and more advanced than the Galactic Council's, decloaked. To the Galactic Council, the predecessor continued, "We suggest you reconsider your position. The children of Earth are under our protection now." The Zarquin's image vanished. Moments later, their ship accelerated upwards, fleeing Earth's orbit in clear retreat. In the stunned silence that followed, Sarah felt a mix of relief and trepidation. They had averted one crisis, but what new challenges would this awakening bring? As if sensing her thoughts, the predecessor turned its gaze directly to her. Dr. Chen, we have much to discuss. The real work begins now. The future of humanity had changed forever. The stars were no longer a distant dream, but a playground waiting to be explored. And Earth, once a backwater planet, now stood at the center of a galactic storm. The game had changed. Now, it was the galaxy's turn to adapt to humanity's rise. The world had changed overnight. The sight of massive predecessor ships hanging in Earth's orbit had become the new normal. News channels buzzed with constant updates, theories, and speculation about humanity's new alien allies. Dr. Sarah Chen found herself at the center of it all. As the one who had activated the predecessor's awakening chamber, she had become the de facto liaison between humanity and these ancient beings. Today, she stood in a hastily constructed command center, surrounded by world leaders, military generals, and top scientists. Before them, a holographic display showed the predecessor representative they had come to know as Orcs. The Galactic Council's retreat is temporary. Zorax's deep voice resonated through the room. They will return, and in greater numbers. The U.S. President leaned forward. Then we need to prepare. Can you share your technology with us? Zorax's expression, although alien, seemed to convey amusement. It is not that simple. Our technology is tied to our biology. It would be like giving a Stone Age human a smartphone. Frustration rippled through the room. Sarah stepped forward. There must be something we can do. You call this your successors. Surely that means we have some potential to use your tech. Zorax was quiet for a moment. There is a way, but it is not without risk. All eyes turned to the hologram. Zorax continued. Long ago, we seeded your world with dormant genetic markers, a failsafe in case we ever needed to rapidly advance a species. The implications hit Sarah like a thunderbolt. You mean you can upgrade us? In a manner of speaking, yes, Zorax replied. But the process would be irreversible. Your species would be forever changed. Heated debate erupted in the room. Some argued it was their only chance for survival against the Galactic Council. Others worried about the loss of their humanity. As the arguments raged, Sarah's phone buzzed. A message from James. Turn on the news. Now. Sarah slipped out of the room and found a TV. What she saw made her blood run cold. The Galactic Council had returned. Not just one ship, but an entire fleet. They hung in space, just beyond the predecessor ships. She rushed back to the command center. They're here. The room fell silent. On the main screen, a transmission from the Galactic Council appeared. The Zarquin envoy looked nervous but determined. People of Earth, it began, your protectors are in violation of ancient treaties. Stand down now, or face the consequences. Zorax's hologram flickered. We have no time. Dr. Chen, you must make a choice. Allow us to activate the genetic markers, or watch your world fall. Sarah felt the weight of billions of lives on her shoulders. She looked around the room, saw the fear and hope in everyone's eyes. She thought of all the dreams humanity had for the stars, dreams that were now within reach. With a deep breath, she made her decision. Do it. Zorax nodded solemnly. It is done. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, people in the room began to gasp and stumble. Sarah felt a tingling sensation spread throughout her body. Her vision blurred, then sharpened to incredible clarity. Knowledge she never knew she had flooded her mind. Around the world, humans experienced the same transformation. In an instant, humanity leaped forward thousands of years in evolution. Sarah turned to the screen showing the Galactic Council fleet. Somehow, she knew exactly what to do. Her fingers danced over a control panel she'd never seen before, but now understood perfectly. The predecessor ships came to life, responding to humanity's newfound knowledge. Energy fields enveloped the Earth, far beyond anything the Galactic Council had seen before. The Zarquin envoy's eyes widened in shock. What have you done? Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady, and filled with newfound confidence. We have claimed our birthright. We are no longer just humanity. We are the inheritors of the predecessor's legacy. She paused, allowing her words to sink in. Then, with a mixture of determination and warning, she delivered humanity's message to the stars. We are awake now, and we suggest you run. The galactic stage was set. Humanity, empowered and enlightened, stood ready to take its place among the stars. The real adventure was just beginning. The galaxy trembled. Across countless worlds, beings of all shapes and sizes looked to the skies in awe and fear. The impossible had happened. The predecessors had returned, and with them, a new power had risen. On Earth, the transformation was nothing short of miraculous. Cities reshaped themselves overnight, buildings growing and shifting to accommodate new technologies. Diseases that had plagued humanity for millennia vanished in hours. The very air seemed cleaner, charged with an energy that hummed with possibility. Dr. Sarah Chen stood on the observation deck of humanity's first true starship, the HFY Prometheus. Through the viewscreen, she watched Earth shrink as they ascended into orbit. Despite the incredible changes to her body and mind, she felt a very human sense of wonder. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Behind her, James chuckled. "You should see what's ahead of us." Sarah turned. The rest of the ship's bridge spread out before her, a marvel of predecessor tech seamlessly blended with human ingenuity. Crew members, their eyes glowing faintly with newfound knowledge, worked in perfect harmony with systems beyond their wildest dreams mere days ago. But it was the view beyond the ship that took Sarah's breath away. The Galactic Council's fleet hung motionless, dwarfed by the massive predecessor vessels that had emerged from hyperspace. "Are we ready for this?" Sarah asked, more to herself than anyone else. A familiar voice answered, "You were born ready, Dr. Chen." Zorax, the predecessor representative, materialized beside her. Unlike before, Sarah could now perceive the layers of energy and information that made up his holographic form. "The Council awaits," Zorax said. "It is time to reshape the galaxy." With a thought, Sarah opened a channel to the Council's flagship. The Zarquin envoy appeared on screen, flanked by representatives of a dozen alien races. Their expressions ranged from fear to awe to barely concealed hostility. "Greetings, Galactic Council," Sarah began, her voice steady. "We come in peace, but we will not be denied our place among the stars." The Zarquin envoy sputtered, This is unprecedented. The treaties clearly state." "The treaties," Zorax interrupted, "were written by the victors of a war long past. Times have changed. The predecessors have chosen their successors." Murmurs rippled through the council representatives. An avian being stepped forward, its feathers ruffling with agitation. "And what of the balance we've maintained for eons? You would have said it all for these upstarts." Sarah felt a surge of confidence, boosted by the collective knowledge of humanity flowing through her. "Balance or stagnation? We've seen your histories. How many species have you contained in the name of stability?" The council members shifted uncomfortably. Sarah pressed on. "We offer a new way forward. Not domination, but true cooperation. A chance for all species to reach their full potential." "Pretty words," a reptilian counselor hissed. "But words mean little without." The alien speech cut off as every system in their fleet suddenly went dark. Panic flashed across their faces, quickly replaced by awe as their ships came back online, now humming with predecessor energy. "That," Sarah said calmly, "was a demonstration. We could have disabled your fleet permanently. Instead, we've given you a glimpse of what's possible when we work together." The council chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices. Some demanded immediate action against Earth, while others called for negotiation. Through it all, the Zarquin envoy remained silent, its eyes fixed on Sarah. Finally, it spoke. "You've certainly made an impression, Dr. Chen. But do not think this is over. The galaxy is vast, and not all will welcome your awakening." Sarah nodded, her expression resolute. "We're counting on it." Change is never easy, but it's necessary. The age of containment is over. The age of exploration and growth begins now. As the transmission ended, Sarah turned to her crew. Faces brimming with excitement and determination looked back at her. Humanity's first steps into a larger universe awaited. "Well," she said, a smile tugging at her lips, "shall we introduce ourselves to the galaxy?" The Prometheus's engines flared to life, propelling humanity towards its destiny among the stars. The galaxy would never be the same, and the adventure was just beginning. The HS Prometheus glided through the star-studded void, its sleek form a testament to humanity's newfound power. On the bridge, Dr. Sarah Chen stood with her hands clasped behind her back, watching as they approached their destination, Omega Centauri, the largest globular cluster in the Milky Way. "Nervous?" James asked, coming to stand beside her. Sarah shook her head. "Excited. We're about to meet our first non-council alien race." The Zarquin's parting words had proven true. News of humanity's awakening had spread like wildfire across the galaxy. Some worlds welcomed them with open arms, eager for the advancements they promised. Others closed their borders, fearing change. But the Omegans were different. They had reached out, requesting a meeting. Their message was cryptic: "We have waited for you." As the Prometheus entered the cluster, a massive space station came into view. Its design was like nothing they had ever seen, organic yet clearly artificial. "We're being hailed," the communications officer announced. Sarah nodded. On screen, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a being that looked like a cross between a jellyfish and a tree. Its translucent body pulsed with bioluminescent light. "Greetings, children of Earth." The aliens' thoughts resonated directly in their minds. "I am Xylox, speaker for the Omegan Collective. We welcome you to our home." Sarah stepped forward. "Thank you, Speaker Xylox. We come in peace and friendship." Xylox's body shimmered. "Peace and friendship, concepts we feared lost to the galaxy, until you awoke." The alien's words sent a ripple of surprise through the bridge crew. Sarah leaned in, intrigued. "What do you mean?" "For eons, we have watched," Xylox explained. "We saw the rise of the predecessors, their fall, and the stagnation that followed under the Galactic Council's rule. We chose isolation rather than subjugation." Images flashed in the crew's minds. Countless worlds, teeming with life and potential, slowly withering under the Council's restrictive policies. "But you," Xylox continued, its light pulsing brighter, "you have changed everything. You have done what we could not, challenged the status quo." Sarah felt a mix of pride and humility. "We only want the chance to explore, to grow, to help others do the same." Xylox's form seemed to smile, though it had no visible mouth. "And that is why we have called you here. We wish to be your allies, to join you in reshaping the galaxy." The implications were staggering. The Omegans were clearly an advanced race, with technology that rivaled even the predecessors. With them as allies, humanity's position in the galaxy would be unassailable. But Sarah hesitated. "We're honored, truly, but we don't seek to replace one form of domination with another. We want genuine cooperation, not just with you, but with all races." Xylox's light dimmed slightly, then blazed even brighter. "You continue to surprise us, Dr. Chen. It is precisely this attitude that convinces us you are worthy allies. We do not offer subservience, but partnership." The alien's form shifted, revealing glimpses of incredible technologies and worlds beyond imagination. "We have much to offer each other. Together, we can show the galaxy a new way forward." Sarah turned to her crew, saw the excitement and determination in their eyes. She made her decision. "We accept your offer of alliance, Speaker Xylox. Let this be the first step towards a more open, cooperative galaxy." As the words left her mouth, Sarah felt a shift in the air. It was as if the very fabric of space-time acknowledged this moment's importance. Xylox's body pulsed with joy. "Then let us begin. There is much to do, and the Council will not sit idle for long. Sarah nodded, her mind already racing with possibilities. Indeed, it's time to rally those who dream of a better future. The galaxy is about to change, and we'll need all the allies we can get. As the Prometheus docked with the Omegan station, Sarah couldn't help but smile. They had come seeking friends and found kindred spirits. The road ahead would be challenging, but with allies like the Omegans, humanity's dream of a free and thriving galaxy seemed closer than ever. The next chapter of galactic history was about to be written, and humanity would be holding the pen. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Assembly buzzed with anticipation. Representatives from 1,000 worlds filled the chamber, their diverse forms a testament to the vastness of life in the universe. At the center of it all stood Dr. Sarah Chen, her presence a symbol of humanity's meteoric rise. 5 years had passed since Earth's awakening. 5 years of rapid change, tense negotiations, and occasional conflicts. But today marked a new beginning. Sarah took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. Beside her stood Zorax, the predecessor, and Psylocke, the Omegan. Behind them, a delegation of humans and various alien allies waited, ready to usher in a new era. The Zarquin Arbiter, now more an equal than an overlord, stepped forward. This special session of the Galactic Assembly is now in session. Dr. Chen, you have the floor. Sarah nodded, her enhanced mind interfacing seamlessly with the hall's systems. As she spoke, holographic displays sprang to life, illustrating her words. Esteemed representatives, she began, her voice carrying to every corner of the vast chamber. We stand at a crossroads. The old order, built on fear and stagnation, is crumbling. Today, we propose a new path forward. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Sarah continued, undeterred. For too long, the Council's policy of containment has stifled growth and innovation. Countless species have been denied their potential, all in the name of stability. She gestured to Zorax. The predecessors saw this coming. They chose humanity not to rule, but to catalyze change. Xylox pulsed with agreement. The Omegans stand as proof that isolation is not the answer. Together, we have achieved more in 5 years than in the previous millennium. Holographic images showcase their accomplishments, new technologies to heal devastated worlds, faster-than-light communications that spanned the galaxy, and diplomatic missions that had brought formerly hostile species together. We propose the formation of a new galactic cooperative, Sarah announced, not ruled by a single council, but guided by principles of mutual growth, shared knowledge, and respect for all sentient life. The chamber erupted in a mixture of cheers and protests. Sarah had expected this. Change never came easy. A reptilian delegate hissed, "And who will keep the peace? Who will prevent the strong from overwhelming the weak?" Sarah smiled. "An excellent question. We propose a shared defensive fleet, commanded not by any single species, but by an AI constructed from the combined knowledge of all member races." She nodded to a human technician who activated a hovering sphere. It glowed with an inner light, pulsing gently. "Meet GAIA, Galactic Artificial Intelligence Arbiter," Sarah introduced. "Impartial, incorruptible, and dedicated to the prosperity of all sentient life." The sphere spoke, its voice a harmonious blend of countless languages. "Greetings, representatives. I exist to serve and protect all." Amazement rippled through the chamber. Even the skeptics seemed impressed. An avian delegate chirped, "This is all well and good, but what of those who refuse to join? What of the Council loyalists?" Zorax stepped forward. "They will be welcome to join when they are ready. We do not seek to force anyone. The strength of this new order lies in willing cooperation." Sarah nodded. "Exactly. We're not here to conquer or coerce. We're here to invite you all into a brighter future." She spread her arms wide. "Imagine a galaxy where every species can reach for the stars, where knowledge flows freely, and the wonders of the universe are open to all. This is the future we offer. The chamber fell silent. Then slowly, applause began to build. Species that had been enemies for eons found themselves united in hope. As the vote was called, Sarah felt a sense of profound satisfaction. The path ahead would not be easy, but for the first time in galactic history, true unity seemed possible. The old Galactic Council was dissolved. In its place, the Galactic Cooperative was born. As representatives swarmed around her, eager to pledge their support, Sarah caught James' eye in the crowd. They shared a smile, remembering that fateful day in a forgotten subway tunnel. Humanity had not just found its place among the stars. It had helped reshape the very fabric of galactic society. The adventure, it seemed, was only just beginning.